All right, the final walkthrough process, or our white glove service, is at the very end of the process. After you're done cleaning, all right, you want to invite the customer to go through a final walkthrough of your work, right? You're gonna take one single white glove, you'll put it on, and you walk through and wipe the areas that you're sure are clean, right? You wanna try and keep that glove white. What that represents is that you got it clean. All right, so you want to definitely invite the customer for a walkthrough. They'll usually say something along the regards of, would you like to take a quick look around and take a look at the work I did before I pack up? Usually people not only prefer that, but some people expect it. So that's a really important thing to do. You want to go room by room and around the house, and ask the customer to point out things or key areas that need to be cleaned, or things that you clean specifically that you're really proud of, right? So if there was a let's say there was a smudge on the floor that they mentioned on the walkthrough that they just couldn't get up, and you get it up, make sure and point that back out on your way through. That can gain you a lot of favor, or even become regular existing customers of ours if you make a small gesture like that. Be sure to ask for feedback. The reason why we're going through the final walkthrough process is to get feedback so we can resolve the issues before you leave. You're not in a hurry to get out. You're in their house to do a good job, right? If you don't do a good job, our reputation is damaged. If you take the time, do a good job, stay in communication with your next customer, you're going to be okay. All right. If the next customer has any problems, then just reach out to Jeannie. She will be able to go and contact the next person for you. So yeah, address any issues that you come up with on the final walkthrough process as you go. And then basically what you want to do is confirm that the customer is satisfied with the work that you did. Once they're happy, all right, let them know. So as far as this process goes, it begins with this checklist right here. And we call it a white glove inspection. And it all begins before you walk in the house. And when you're sitting in your car, look at your app on your phone, and then write down the job number up at the top of here. Right here, I said 490217. Okay. And that allows us to link it back up to the job so that any tips you get will definitely be recorded correctly before the customer gets the bill. All right. So as you've been working on this sheet, which inside this book, you have a whole bunch of them, right? This isn't only going to provide you with instructions for your job as you go. You say, oh, yep, okay, I clean the countertops, or I wipe down the cabinets. You're checking these off as you go, right? When you go through the final inspection, that's when we're checking off the ones to the left side. So you can walk through, you could point out these different areas, make sure and, like I said, point out the things that you're proud of. If they're noteworthy, let the customer know. Anyways, so let's say you clean the kitchen, the bathroom, and the living room. So you'll go through here. As you do your inspection, the customer signs off, okay? You cross these off. If they say, ooh, yeah, whoops, you forgot to dust this, then, correct it, redust it, and then check this item. When you first sat down in your car and you wrote down this job number, it would have been good to also write their first name here. That's mostly for you so that you remember and you're able to talk to them by their first name when you go to greet them, or if they have any questions. Saying that name is very important. It builds a personal connection to the customer. That's how you get tips, right? The most important part is down here, right? When they're done with the job, what we want them to do is tell us how they're paying, right? If it's check, then do check. If it's credit card, do credit card. And then right here at the bottom, there's a place for add tip. Please never, ever, ever ask them for a tip. But when they see it down here and they're filling this out, then maybe they'll show their gratitude. So anyways, we don't need a real signature on the bottom of this. They just scribble and we're all set. This is really important, you guys, because we've had customers in the past that will say, hey, you guys did a great job on the final inspection, and give us a 2-star review. And the reason we've seen that happen is we might have a customer with dementia. We might have a customer in all sorts of situations. They might have pooped in their house after we left, right? There are all sorts of situations where that might change. And if we have this here and they signed off on it, we're covered, right? So when Jeannie gets this, once you're done, you're gonna snap a picture, you're gonna send it off to the phone number right here at the top. And once you get that sent off to her, she's gonna take this file, she's gonna attach it to customer record. That way we can match up if there are any problems. We're never gonna have any problems. There's no reason to really, be concerned about sending this in. It's really simple, it's just paperwork. All right, guys, good job. That is the inspection.